Question number 2 is social media campaign. What, when, and how? Social media campaign planning, as you see in this slide, is systematic and logical step-by-step actions on implementation of communication strategy into reality. As we see, we have here several steps. Create social media objectives and goals, conduct a social media audit, create or improve the social accounts, get the support and inspiration from ideas generators, create a content plan, an editorial calendar, and test and monitoring of social media communications. Step number 1, create social objectives and goals. The first step to any social media marketing strategy is to establish the objectives and goals that you hope to achieve. Having these objectives also allows you to quickly react when social media campaigns are not meeting your expectations. These goals should be aligned with the broader marketing strategy of a company, and as a result, the social media efforts should be force the company towards the business objectives. As we have already discussed in previous themes, there are many factors that influence the buyer behavior, and here we should mention needs and values, which are in constant interactions. But what is more important? It is the correspondence between the needs and values of potential customers or influencers and company's values and mission. The firm should have a corporate strategy setting out its mission, core competences, and the product area to understand how to create the campaign for it. SMART criteria are commonly associated with Peter Drucker's management by objectives concept. The first known use of the term was done in 1981 by George Doran in the journal Management Review. Simply speaking, any objective should be specific, that means that the goal targets a specific area for improvement, measurable, that suggests that the goal can be formulated as a certain indicator of a progress in quantitative or qualitative way, achievable, or in other models agreed upon those who will do it. Realistic or relevant state what results can realistically be achieved given available resources, and time-bound specifies when the results can be achieved. In case of social media campaign, the strategist should find a matrix that aligns with the goals and set an ambitious targets. Metrics can be used such as the number of impressions, visits, leads, likes and retweets, etc. As we see in the case presented by Christine Moorman in her review, she proves that the company should focus on social media indicators combination to understand, does social media influence purchase or non-purchase behavior when people just sharing opinions about companies and brands? The second step includes several actions. First of all, one should write down all social networks he or she is going to use in campaign. Second, find and identify the profiles that represents the company or brand. Third, one should create a mission statement for each profile. These one-sentence declarations will help strategists to focus on every special goal for Instagram or Facebook or any other social network. They will guide the actions and tracking the results. For example, for Instagram, the mission may be to light up the company's achievements. Fourth is checking if the link is correct, the brand has the logo, icons, proper description, and profile photo. One should be sure that the passwords are shared among all decision makers and IT department officers if they are involved into a process of social media campaign. Here, the main questions are: who is the target audience in terms of demographic, psychographic, geographic, and behavioral characteristics? What is the type of the content will be posted? The message has different formats: video, photos, pictures, animation. Who is going to respond to content? Ideally, it should be influencers, who will be our innovators and early adopters. Step number 3, create or improve the social accounts. Once you've finished with your social media audit, it's time to launch your online presence. Choose which networks best meet your social media goals. If you don't already have social media profiles on each network you focus on, build them from the ground up with your broader goals and audience in mind. If you do have existing accounts, it's time to update and refine them to get the best possible results. Each social network has a unique audience and should be treated differently. Step number 4. Get the support and inspiration from ideas generators. There can be many of them, and one of them is employees. Many new ideas originate from employees. Even new products licensed or required have to be identified internally. Ideas can come from anywhere in the organization, but those of frontline employees, people who make the products and sell them to the customers, are particularly valuable since they are most knowledgeable about the technology and the needs of the market. Toyota, for example, receives over 2 million ideas a year from employees, about 35 per head, and claims to implement about 85% of them. Senior managers should design systems to boost permanently the flow of ideas from employees. They should set targets for each department, say Facebook post support or Instagram campaign support. Customers are the best source of ideas. Innovations have commercial value only if they meet the needs of customers better than current products. Innovative customers are those individuals or organizations that are at the forefront in buying new products or applying new ideas, and they are the most valuable sources. Such customers see problems and opportunities and are generally willing to talk with potential suppliers about their requirements. Actually, I would say that dissatisfied customers are the gold mine for the strategist. If you remember the case with the dissatisfaction that was pronounced via Instagram, I would recommend the manager to work on it in the first place. The dissatisfied customers are full of the ideas how to improve the business, and they are open enough to share these ideas for free. Customers' opinions are not enough. Customers sometimes cannot express needs for products and benefits they haven't ever been experienced. It's important to allow scientists to go for promising research directions. The R&D departments should focus on constant probing and testing of potential customers to get feedback about possible uses and improvements. Without a close and early integration of technical research with market sounding, investments into R&D can be thrown away. There were many cases when the imitator, not the inventor, identified and used the real market opportunities in technical advances. Competitors can be a source of new ideas. Companies such as Canon, Xerox, Hewlett-Packard, and Ford use competitor benchmarking, systematically comparing their products with the best competitor to look for potential advances. Strategists should track the stream of news for checking competitors' offers. You may buy the products or services from your competitor to realize the real level of their achievements. Distributors and dealers are accumulating the key information about the technical bugs and market failures and, of course, competitive advantage of the products and services in the market. They know both the needs and requests of sophisticated customers and the offers of the competitors. Manager can turn a distributor into a valuable ally and powerful source of new ideas by listening to its problem and suggestions. Distributors can be interested in sharing positive content via social media. A variety of techniques has been developed by psychologists and market researchers to help individuals and groups generate creative ideas. These include brainstorming, synectic, and morphological analysis. Such methods can play an important role in inspiring people to release their latent capability for innovations. Social movements or promo videos always should have a lot of creative ideas behind the scene to be successfully shared. Outside sources may include inventors, students, scientific labs or license from the other companies, and also research agencies and consultants. But what is missing by companies nowadays is the power of individual startups. The strategist should be aware of what is going on in the industry, and the company must be attractive enough for the inventors and enthusiasts who offer the projects free of charge, just looking for the investors to implement them. You may launch the competition or a contest with the prizes in the end to attract good business ideas, and social media channels become the most powerful communication channel in this case. Content marketing plan should answer the following questions. What types of content you need to post and promote on social media? How often you will post content? Target audience for each type of content. Who will create the content and how you will promote the content? And you should remember the mission statement for every social media channel to keep your strategy constant. Here you may see a tutorial calendar that allows scheduling the messages. This calendar gives the opportunity to see the interactions between the messages and to make messaging planned and spontaneous at the same time. This calendar should reflect the mission statement that was assigned to each social profile, and you should map out a weekly calendar that reflects important events such as holidays you want to reference, dates that are important to your business and your customers. For example, big sales, offers, anniversaries, conferences, special events, schedule interviews, etc. Come up with blog article topics for each month for as many articles as you plan on writing. For example, 4 articles per month. These articles should be based on important dates, events, and overall monthly or weekly themes. When you are planning the content and scheduling the messages, we should remember the social media rule of thirds. 1/3 of your social content promotes your business, converts readers, and generates profit. 1/3 of your social content should share ideas and stories from thought leaders in your industry or like-minded businesses. And 1/3 of your social content should be personal interactions with your audience. To find out what adjustments need to be made to the social media marketing strategy, we should constantly test them. Testing is strongly correlated with the metrics established at previous stages. For example, one of the performance index can be the number of clicks, how often the user used the link to get on a particular platform. Or success of social campaign can be measured by number of likes and shares, or the performance can be measured by number of page visits. But the best way to measure your success is to create a combination of the performance indexes. The cycle of social media campaign test is showed here in slide. As we may see, the benchmarks, testing, checking the statistics of social media are in constant interrelations. And every time after the end of one cycle, another one begins. The question number 3, how to build the campaign around the influencers. These are the components of influencer-based strategy. First of all, identify the topics of influence that speak to your brand's target buyers. Search for the influencers who fit with your brand in terms of the context. Look for content quality, engagement, and alignment of values with your brand. Again, you should see the relatedness and engagement with your target influencers. And you should build a partnership via email and other social channels. Ask them to be a partner with your brand and offer them compensation to create mutually beneficial relationships. Measure all earned media and identify which influencers and which topics lift your brand the most. Repeat. Once you identified who and what works best for your brand, you can build a stronger influencer marketing strategy each time around. These are some tips to create strategy around social media influencers. Identify your goals before reaching out. Think of campaign as the types of influencers who are the buyers and clients if they want to be heard or they want to hear something from. Break through the clutter. We all have been bombarded by ads every day, but the better way is to give influencers something interesting to talk about. Focus on the experience. Instead of simple product review, create an experience for your influencers to share with their network. This allows them to create more interesting content, which leads to more engagement for your brand. Always think visually driven. Equip your influencers with high-resolution images and photos or video for their content. How can you help them create something attractive for their Instagram? Think outside of the box and do experiments with different topics. Track and monitor the engagement so you can scale the segments that work best. Maybe this time you will try some new ideas and attract youth to your stream. Consider more content quality and niche topics as priority. Numerical qualifiers like traffic and social data should only be considered once an influencer is identified as contextual fit. Create a message that people actually want to hear and share, whether it's in the form of research, infographic, survey, fun facts, or anything else. Make sure your message is something unique and interesting. From there, you will be able to steer your influencer strategy ship in any preferable direction. Approach influencer marketing in a network building approach. Create a strategy that identifies the bloggers that lift your brand the most and segment them into the advocate group that you nurture and work with ongoing. I've chosen the case that became famous recently. This is viral video from Thailand Cancer Institute that is well known as the most saddest ad video in the world. Two sisters have dramatic family troubles till one of them got sick. In the end of the video, the campaign makes people to donate their hair to Cancer Institute. A sad and heartbroken story can't leave you without tears and was shared as viral video by many users. The resume of this case is to build successful communication strategy, align with the voices that your auditorium wants to hear from.